Good morning, everybody. It's good to see you this Sunday. Another Sunday on YouTube, but it's still pretty cool that we get to do this together. So this week we're going to learn a new story. Maybe you've heard it before, but that's okay. We're going to talk about it one more time this year, and then we're going to explain the story. We're going to read it. We're going to ask some questions about it. We're going to draw some stuff together, and then at the very end, we're going to make something called a comfort box. Are you guys ready for that? Great. But before we begin, I want to introduce you to someone new that's going to be joining us from now on out, okay? You guys ready? All right. When this person comes on, you can go ahead and wave, okay? He can't see you, but you can wave anyway. All right, let's see. Where is he at? Oh, here he comes. And up he is. I want you guys to say hi. Hi, everybody. My name is Gribby. I'm a third grader. What grade are you in? Gribby, there are all kinds of ages, and there are all kinds of grades, and a lot of them are on summer break right now. I love summer break. Well, it's kind of weird right now because we can't go anywhere, but normally I go to summer camps and stuff. They're pretty cool. Yeah, I agree. Summer camps are really cool, and we're going to miss them, aren't we? Yeah, it kind of makes me sad when I think about it. Yeah, being sad is okay. What do you like to do when you're sad? Well, sometimes I like to play with stuffed animals or cars or go outside. I like to see nature and the sun. Sun's fun. I agree. Those are really cool things that you do that make you feel better when you feel sad, huh? You got it. Yeah. Well, today, Gribby, we're going to be talking about the story called The Road to Emmaus. Can you say that? Road to Emmaus. Is that it? No. The Road to Emmaus. Can you say that? Road to Emmaus. You got it. Good job. Yeah, that's really great. So the Road to Emmaus is a story found in the Gospels. Remember? Matthew, Mark, Luke, and what else? John. Good job. Good job, Gribby. Well, in the Gospel stories, there's a story called the Road to Emmaus. At this point, Jesus had already died, and he came back to life, and people were wondering what's going to happen next. Can you imagine how that would have felt? I would have been scared. Yeah, me too. And they were scared too, and a lot of them were really confused. But we're going to read a story about how Jesus lives, and he's still our hope. Would you like to read that story with us? Yeah, that'd be fun. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and get my Bible, and you can have a seat next to me, okay? Everyone, Gribby's going to go ahead and have a seat next to me, and he's going to listen too by putting on his what? What are you going to put on, Gribby? My listening ears, right here. Up here is my ears. Yep, good job. So you want to go ahead and have a seat for me? Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead and sit down here. We're just going to put Gribby down here on this chair, and he's going to hang out. And we're going to go ahead and get our Bibles. And just like last time, if you want to read along, you can pause the video, go get your Bible, bring it back, and we can read together. And if you would just like to listen to me read, that's okay too. Just go ahead and put on your listening ears, and we're going to read from the Bible. Just like last time, I'm reading from the Big Picture Interactive Bible. This one has pictures, but not for this story. So, we're going to start in Luke 24. I got to find it right here. 24, verses 13 through 35. You guys ready? I'll give you a minute so you can find it. Great. Let's go ahead and start. Now that same day, two of them were on their way to a village called Emmaus, which was about 7 miles from Jerusalem. Together they were discussing everything that had taken place. And while they were discussing and arguing, Jesus himself came near and began to walk along with them. But they were prevented from recognizing him. Then he asked them, "What is this dispute? What is this argument that you're having with each other as you are walking?" And they stopped walking and looked discouraged. The one named Cleopas answered him, "Are you the only visitor in Jerusalem who doesn't know the things that happened in these days?" "What things?" he asked them. So they said to him, "You know, the things Jesus the Nazarene, who was a prophet, powerful in action and speech before God and all the people, and how our chief priests and leaders handed him over to be sentenced to death, and they crucified him." but we were hoping that he was the one who was going to redeem Israel. Besides all this, it's the third day since these things happened, so nothing's really going to change. Moreover, some women from our group astounded us. They arrived early at the tomb, and when they didn't find his body, they came and reported that they had seen a vision of angels who said he was alive. Some of those who went with us to the tomb and found it just as the woman had said, but they didn't see him. He said to them, "How unwise and slow you are to believe in your hearts all that the prophets had spoken. Didn't the Messiah have to suffer these things so that he could enter into his glory, or the things that were promised about him?" Then, beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he interpreted for them the things concerning himself in all scriptures. They came near the village where they were going, and he gave them the impression that he was going to go further. But they urged him, "Stay with us, because it's almost evening, and now the day is almost over." So he went in to stay with them. It was as he reclined at the table with them that he took the bread, blessed it, and broke it, and gave it to them. Then their eyes were opened, and they recognized him, but he disappeared from their sight. So they said to each other, "Weren't our hearts ablaze within us while he was talking with us on the road, and explaining the scriptures to us?" That very hour they got up and returned to Jerusalem. They found the 11, and those who were with them gathered together, who said, "The Lord has certainly been raised, and has appeared to Simon." And they began to describe what has happened on the road, and how he made known to them in the breaking of the bread. The word of the Lord. Yeah, you can go and say it. Say it with me. Thanks be to God. Okay, so before we begin the question part, go ahead and pause the video. Read it over one more time if you need to, because I'm going to ask you some questions after we talk, okay? All right, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get ready for the next part. Okay, everyone, welcome back. Gribby is going to go ahead and join us for this part. He's going to wave, see? That's a pretty good wave, huh? I like my wave. My little claw wave. Yeah, that's pretty good. So, this story was kind of long, wasn't it? Yeah, it was long. I had a hard time paying attention all the way. Yeah, it's okay. It was a long story, and that's why we're going to talk about it a little bit, okay? But remember that there's this theme. Do you guys know what a theme is? Do you know what a theme is? Well, it's kind of like the thing that it's about. Exactly. So the thing this story's about is that Jesus lives, right? We've been talking about, what have we been talking about this whole entire time, guys? Tell Gribby. Right, we've been talking about that time between where Jesus dies, he rose from the dead, and now everyone is waiting for what's next, right? And so we're kind of going, last time we went all the way back to the prophets. That's a really long time ago. Wow. How'd you do that? Well, we got in a time machine. A time machine? Yeah, we went in a time machine. It went all the way in the past. But now we kind of zoomed forward a little bit, and we're not all the way forward to Pentecost, which is what we're looking forward to. That's going to be next week. But this week, we're talking about the road to Emmaus. Two guys having an argument on the road about what's going to happen. And they were scared, and they were afraid. Do you know why they were afraid? Well, it probably had something to do with Jesus' death. Exactly. Jesus had died. He had promised them all really great things, and he showed them great miracles, and he was God with them. And then guess what? Well, he died. Exactly. He died. And so what happens to all their hope? Well, I mean, he came back from the dead. Yes, but they didn't know that quite yet. In fact, they had heard rumors that Jesus was alive, but they didn't see him. And so these two guys were having a debate, an argument, that's another word for debate, on the road about what was going on. Where did Jesus go? Was he really alive? Maybe someone stole his body. Stole his body? Who would do that? Exactly. Who would do that? But a lot of people were wondering what happened to Jesus. And so these two guys were having this argument when this guy shows up. And who was this guy? Well, he was Jesus. Yes, but they didn't know that. And he was explaining to them everything that the scriptures, which is another way of saying the Bible, and everything God had said about them and about Jesus was true. And that Jesus was going to be raised from the dead after 3 days of death. Isn't that pretty cool that the Bible says that? Well, yeah, but how did they not know? Well, they were confused because they saw Jesus die. And so they didn't understand what Jesus was about, really. But Jesus was going to comfort them. Do you know what comfort means? Well, it means like when you feel better a little bit. Exactly. He was going to comfort them with promises and helping them understand that Jesus was going to raise from the dead. And that he was going to promise new life for everybody. Is that pretty exciting? Yeah, I like that. Yeah, me too. So he told them on the road everything the Bible had said about Jesus and that they could have hope again. And they were so excited that they wanted to have Jesus over for what? What did they want to have Jesus over for? Dinner. Exactly. And so when he got to their house, he broke bread with them. And what does that remind us of? Well, it kind of reminds me of the Lord's Supper. The Last Supper, right? Exactly. So when he broke bread, they kind of had this realization that this was not just a regular guy on the road. It was Jesus himself. And then when they turned around, guess what? Poof! Exactly. He had just disappeared. And so they went and told all the disciples about everything that they had seen. And they also kind of confirmed it, right? They said, oh yeah, we've seen Jesus too. Isn't that kind of crazy? Well, no, it's not crazy. Why isn't that crazy? Well, the Bible said it. Said it was going to happen. Exactly. The Bible said it was going to happen, but they didn't know it. And so this was kind of telling them that they could have hope again, right? They didn't have to be afraid. And so here in a few minutes, we're going to get some paper and a pen. And so if you guys want to go ahead and get paper and pencil, you can go ahead and do that. Pause the video. Just pause the video, right? And then go ahead and get pen and paper. And we're going to draw some stuff from the video. But while you do that, or even after you do that, we're going to sing a song. Do you want to sing a song? Well, I like singing a song. Yeah. So Ryan from church is going to sing us a song. Is that pretty cool? Totally. Okay. So go ahead and get your pen and paper and come back, and we're going to listen to a song, and then we're going to go ahead and do some cool drawings. Does that sound good? Sound good? Yeah. All right, guys. Go ahead and pause the video. Go get pen and paper. Come back, and we're going to sing a song together.
I'm making you. You make me move, Jesus. Every breath I take, I breathe in you. Every step I take, I think in you. You are my way, Jesus. Every breath I take, I breathe in you. La 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 la. I'm making you. You make me move, Jesus. Every breath I take, I breathe in you. Every step I take in you. You are my way, Jesus. Every breath I take, I breathe in you. Let's do that again. Every move I'm making you. You make me move, Jesus. Every breath I take, I breathe in you. Every step I take in you. My way, Jesus. Every breath I take, I breathe in you. La 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 waves of mercy, waves of grace.
All right, guys, welcome back. It was really great to be able to sing along with Ryan, right? Or at least enjoy beautiful music together while we worship. So today we're going to go ahead and draw some stuff that we heard from the story. And I know you guys can't see me, so we'll go ahead and draw my face here. I'm going to draw an oval shape, and then I'm going to draw some glasses like this. Kind of looks like my glasses. I'll draw some ears, and I'll put some eyes in here like this. Get some eyebrows, and I get my hair like this. And then I have a nose, a little dimple in my chin, and I'm talking to you guys, right? So go ahead and open my mouth. So you guys can pretend that's me right now, right? I'll draw a neck. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and have a talk while we draw together about some of the things that we heard from the story. So, Gribby, do you remember what happened at the very beginning of the story? Why are these guys having a discussion? Do you remember as they walk on the road? So we can put a road down here since they were walking on a road, right? So you have a road. And two guys are walking on it. What were they talking about, Gribby? Well, Jesus had died. Right, exactly. So what we'll do is we'll draw a big circle here. That's the hill that Jesus was crucified on. In order to show that we have the setting of Jesus' death, we'll draw a cross. Can you guys do that too? So now we have a hill, the cross, and a road. So two guys were walking on a road, and they were talking about how Jesus died. And what happened next after Jesus died? Well, they buried him, and they put a big stone in front. Exactly. So what we'll do is over here on this hill, we'll draw another little hill, and we'll draw the big rock that they rolled in front. And you guys can follow along too. I put some lines on the rock to show that it was a rock. And maybe I'll put some grass here in the corners. And I'll do some shading. You guys can shade too. Just draw some lines on one side of the hill like this. Yeah. So Jesus was buried. And then what happened? Well, some people came and they saw that the tomb was empty. Right, exactly. That's what happened next. And so they were like, where is Jesus? What happened to his body? Some people say that he rose again, but we can't find him. So over here, we'll draw a tomb again. Draw some shading on the side. And then we'll just put a door. And we'll put the rock kind of laying down here at the side, right? Because it got pushed out of the way. And we'll go ahead and draw dark color in the doorway to the tomb. So, Jesus died, right? We talked about that. Jesus was buried in a tomb with a big rock laid in front. And then people found an empty tomb like this with the rock rolled away. And Jesus was gone. Yep, exactly. So that's where we are in the story. And two men are walking along the road. We'll draw two men right here. Walking along the road. And they were having an argument about where Jesus was. What else did we hear in the story? Well, after this third man, there we go. We can have a third man on the road, right? The mysterious guy that didn't know who he was, but we know is Jesus. So he was telling the other two guys about what had happened and what the Bible promised about Jesus so they could have hope again. And we'll put hope over here as like a big smiley face right above them. Jesus wanted them to be happy and comforted again, that the power of Jesus and his promises were true. Well, he walked on the road with them. We can put some dust on the road to make it dusty. In fact, we can even draw some puffs of smoke by their feet to show that they were walking, right? He walked with them all the way, and then they wanted to hear more. So, Gribby, what happened? What happened next? Well, they invited him in for dinner. Exactly. They invited him into their house. So what we'll do is we'll draw a house down here. We'll draw a square. Like this. And we'll put a roof on it. And I'll even build a little smokestack. This is not what houses look like back like then, but for our story and for our pictures, that's fine. So they invited him in to have dinner together. And when Jesus went in, they did what together, Gribby? Do you remember? Well, Jesus broke bread. Exactly. That reminded them of the Last Supper and that Jesus was alive. And that's when Jesus disappeared from their sight. So we'll go ahead and draw a loaf of bread down here. Just do a big oval. We'll do a line across the top like this. And we'll do the shading right on the bottom. Good job. That's the bread. And then we'll draw it broken because Jesus broke the bread. So jaggedy edges here. Half the loaf. Some shading. And then we'll draw the other half over here. Good job. You guys are making excellent pictures. Some shading here. Good job. When Jesus broke the bread, they realized who he was, and then he disappeared. And so they went running. We'll draw them down here. Running. Draw two more stick figures because they went running to tell the disciples what they had seen. And when they got there, the disciples also said, yeah, we saw some crazy, amazing stuff that Jesus is alive again. Right? And so right here, we just have a picture of the whole story, right? Jesus' death, his burial, his resurrection. They had a real body and he showed up to tell people that they could have what? Hope again? Exactly. He went to their house, broke bread, and they had hope again. Great job. And you can draw these pictures for any story that you read in the Bible, and maybe we'll do that again soon, okay? Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put up our art supplies, get the camera back on, and we'll do our keys together, okay? Alright. Looking forward to seeing you guys soon. Thanks for putting up the artwork. And right now, Gribby's going to join us again. Hi, guys. And we're going to do the three what? Three what? Do you remember? 3 keys. Exactly. We're going to do the 3 keys together. Okay, so the very first key that we're going to do is how many people were there on the road? That's kind of a trick question. Do you remember, Gribby? We're going to give them a minute to think about it and then answer. Okay? What do? We're going to listen, right? Yeah, good job. Okay, so what is it? How many were there, Gribby? Well, there were 3. Exactly. The trick question is, at first we're like maybe 2, but then Jesus shows up, right? And so there are what? 3. Exactly. Good job. Okay, so the next key is, what is the next key? How about, when did they recognize that it was Jesus and not just some random guy on the road? Do you remember? Do you remember? I think I remember. Okay. Do you guys remember? When was it, Gribby? That's when they broke bread. Exactly. When Jesus broke the bread, right? They remembered and they saw that it was Jesus. And then what? Poof. Exactly. Poof. Jesus disappeared. Okay, good job. So, let's see. The third key is, what did they do when they realized it was Jesus? Do you guys know? Do you know? I don't know this one. Oh, you don't? Well, that's okay. We'll learn together. Okay, do you guys know? Maybe you can tell Gribby. If you know, shout it out to Gribby. He would enjoy that, right? Yeah, I like to know things. Yes, you do. Okay, so when they found out it was Jesus, they ran and told the disciples that they had seen Jesus. And guess what they said too? Well, they had saw Jesus too. Exactly. So people were seeing Jesus and understanding that he didn't die. Well, he did die, but he was back from dead, right? He rose up by his own power to show that he was what? He was God. Yeah, exactly. He had power. He wasn't just a normal prophet or normal person doing amazing things. He was God himself. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, that's really cool. Exactly. And it means we can have hope and comfort when we're scared because God is what? God is with me. Exactly. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to build a comfort box together. A comfort box is a thing that you have that when you're scared, you can go get and brings you comfort. So I have my box right here, and Gribby can help show you what's in my box. So this is my comfort box. And when I'm scared or I'm sad, I go get my comfort box, okay? So inside my comfort box, Gribby, can you help me open this? Good job. All right, just put that aside. Good job. Okay, so inside my comfort box, I have things like A stuffed animal. Do you like stuffed animals? I am a stuffed animal. Yeah, you are. So I guess you do love stuffed animals. Can you go ahead and put this back? Yeah. So when I'm scared, sometimes a stuffed animal helps. What else is in my comfort box? In my comfort box, I have old photos. Like I got this photo of me and my dad when I was a kid. And that brings me happiness. And here's another one of me when I was a kid. That brings me happiness too. I like to look at these. What else? What other picture do I have in here? I have a picture of me. That's just my feet in the ocean. It reminds me of how nice it was to feel the water over my feet. I love feeling the water over my feet. And so what else do we have in my box? What do you see, Gribby? Looks like you have some Legos. Exactly. I have some Legos. Because I like to play with Legos. Yeah, I like to play with them when I'm scared or I'm sad, and they make me feel good. Yeah. What else do I got in this box? Looks like you have a book with no pictures either. No pictures. But I do have a book. This book is one of my favorite prayer books. And when I'm scared, I like to pray. Do you like to pray when you're scared? Sometimes. I know God is there and He listens to me. Exactly. And because we know that God is there, just like He promised these two guys that He was there, He wasn't dead, we can also pray to God and Jesus and know that He is listening to us, right? Yeah. And that brings us a lot of hope. So guys, go ahead and build your own comfort boxes. And then if you want, you can have your parents email me pictures of your comfort boxes. And maybe we can find a way to share them with each other. Maybe next week I can show you pictures of each other's comfort boxes. Would that be cool? I think that'd be cool. Gribby, do you think it's cool? Yeah, I think that would be really cool. I can't wait to build my own comfort box. Would you guys like to see Gribby's comfort box next week? Would you be willing to show it with him? Yeah, that'd be fun. I'd love to show it. Cool. Well, you can show it too. And maybe next week we can show pictures of those comfort boxes. Just have your parents send the pictures to me, and we can do that together. All right, guys. So that's it for this week. I hope you have a really good week, and I can't wait to see you again next week. Say bye to Gribby. Bye, guys!